In the opening scene, a squad of U.S. Navy SEALs led by Senior Chief John Kelly is assigned to Syria on a dangerous mission. Their mission is to rescue a CIA operative who has been kidnapped by a suspected pro-Assad paramilitary group. Things take a drastic turn, however, when the SEALs uncover a surprising discovery. Their kidnappers are Russian military personnel, not Syrians. John Kelly is enthralled by the presence of Russian troops rather than the expected Syrian army. CIA officer Robert Ritter responds with a snarky remark, denying any Russian participation. The tension is broken as an RPG is thrown in their way, killing one of their own. Despite the commotion and shooting from the Russian military, their primary goal remains the hostages' safety. 3 months after their courageous expedition, the squad basks in praise, but skepticism and unanswered questions cast a pall. While they are reuniting with their families, a SEAL participant in the Syrian operation is intentionally hit by a car while running an errand. Another is cruelly gunned down in traffic, while the rest are methodically eliminated by clandestine Russian operatives. Senior Chief John Kelly spends a peaceful evening with his wife before retiring to bed. Unbeknownst to him, Russian burglars had broken into their homes, cutting the electricity and quietly infiltrating. In a heartbreaking turn of events, they take the life of Kelly's pregnant wife, Pam. Kelly emerges from the shadows armed with his weapon, when he becomes aware of the intruders in his home. He manages to eliminate 2 of the 4 intruders in a quick and intense struggle. However, when he locates the 4th invader, a furious gunfight follows, leaving both parties critically injured. The assassin points his pistol towards Kelly, but fortunately for him, the assassin has run out of bullets. During this little respite, the assassin gets to flee before being apprehended. Kelly is rushed to the hospital, his life dangling by a thread due to his severe injuries. In Washington, D.C., Lieutenant Commander Karen Greer, the SEAL squad leader and Kelly's close friend, holds a vital meeting with CIA official Robert Ritter and Secretary of Defense Thomas Clay. Their attention is focused on the revelation of how the FSB Federal Security Service discovered the identities of the SEAL team members, as well as the probable courses of action in response. The revelation of Russia's brazen attack on American territory has already strained relations between the two countries, pushing them closer to a new Cold War. Surprisingly, the CIA refuses to conduct an inquiry into Kelly's comrades' terrible killings. Meanwhile, while in the hospital, Kelly has terrible visions of his late wife, which eventually leads to a seizure. When he regains consciousness on his road to recovery, he finds himself in a tumultuous situation. Lieutenant Commander Karen Greer is driven to reveal sensitive and private information to Kelly due to the FBI's inability to take any action about the murders of U.S. soldiers on American territory, understanding that no one else is ready to pursue justice for their fallen comrades. Kelly comes to the frightening revelation that one of the men who escaped looks to be a phantom, someone who leaves no trace. Lieutenant Greer informs Kelly of this knowledge, noting that this enigmatic figure is usually referred to as a ghost. She then informs Kelly about an ex-FSB operator who was responsible for providing passports to the Russians who died in his home. Kelly sets out on a persistent journey to find this Russian ex-FSB spy, driven by a need for answers. He successfully locates the operative, causing him to stop and set fire to his truck. Kelly coerces the operator into revealing the identification of the surviving assassin after gaining access to the car. Kelly kills the operative after the name is revealed. As a result, he was arrested and sentenced to prison for the murder. Greer pays him a visit in order to negotiate his release, and Kelly attempts to capitalize on his newfound knowledge. He directs her to deliver a message to Secretary of Defense Robert Clay, stating that he has crucial information, including the identity of the Russian assassin who murdered his wife and escaped. This crucial information was obtained from the operative he eliminated. Before taking the ex-FSB operative's life, Kelly underlined the importance of acting quickly because he fears for his safety within the prison. He is well aware that the Russians can track him down even when he is imprisoned. His concerns are realized as Russian opponents attempt to assassinate him within his cell. Kelly, on the other hand, shows himself to be a capable fighter, overcoming his attackers one by one and barricading himself inside his cell, capturing several of them as captives. During this chaotic episode, U.S. Marshals enter with a phone from Greer. She encourages him to remain calm and comply with the U.S. Marshals, assuring him of their reliability. Kelly agrees and is led to a meeting with the Secretary of Defense and CIA agents. Kelly drops a bombshell at the meeting by revealing the name Viktor Rykov. When asked how he learned this name, he explains that Viktor Rykov is the assassin who escaped from his residence after murdering his wife. The revelation astounds the audience, sparking a rush to seize Viktor Rykov. Greer is entrusted with a new operation, and Kelly expresses a strong desire to be a part of it, which Secretary Clay gladly supports. When he returns, he will gladly serve his time in a U.S. prison. Kelly, Greer, and a secret CIA Black Ops operations team board a flight to Moscow, Russia. Kelly confides in Greer during their travel, giving a disturbing revelation from the moment he killed the ex-Russian FSB spy. The operative's final words warned him that death would always follow him, a bleak prophecy that has come true, with his entire family suffering horrible ends as a result of him. Shortly, a Russian fighter plane threatens their objective as they prepare for a daring halo jump into Russian territory. A missile is fired at their plane, striking it and sending it crashing into the bleak waters below. Kelly dives into the wreckage in the aftermath of the disaster to rescue critical equipment. However, he finds himself in a grave scenario beneath the sea's surface, running dangerously low on oxygen and on the verge of drowning. He manages to re-emerge with tremendous difficulty. The squad navigates their way to the nearest coast using the rescued Zodiac boat. They ultimately arrive in Murmansk and come across Ritter, who had not joined them on the journey. Kelly makes some assumptions as a result of his sudden absence. During a heated debate, Kelly holds Ritter responsible for their plane's disaster and the compromise of their intelligence. Kelly confronts Ritter, strengthening his grasp in a strangling attempt fueled by rage and frustration. During this heated exchange, he demands the truth about the true reason for their trip to Russia. In response, Ritter emphatically denies any role in the claims leveled at him by Kelly. Surprisingly, Kelly starts to believe his protests. Ritter takes command and leads the crew to Viktor Rykov's location within a building. As they stand outside the building, they plan how to apprehend Rykov. Kelly, on the other hand, abruptly deviates from the assignment to confront Rykov alone. He closes the door on the other side of the passage, determined to find answers. Kelly goes farther into the building and comes across Rykov, who is wearing a suicide vest. Rykov makes a surprising admission, claiming to be a deep-cover CIA operative dispatched to Kelly's house by the CIA. He admits that everything, from Syria to the present, has been skillfully staged. He maintains that he is only a piece in a larger game. In a tragic turn of events, Rykov detonates the vest, killing himself. The squad is pinned down by sniper fire, and one of their members is hit by a bullet fired by a sniper. The sniper retaliates by killing 2 Russian cops, a situation that might be blamed on Kelly's crew. Despite their best attempts, they are unable to locate the sniper's precise location. It dawns on them that the mission was set up to incite a clash between the United States and Russia on Russian land. Lieutenant Greer is determined not to abandon any of her team members in this risky position. She orders Kelly to discover an escape route, which he does. Lieutenant Greer eliminates one of the snipers in a spectacular combat confrontation. The crew makes it to the bottom floor, safe from the sniper's gaze. They are, however, surrounded by Russian police and have no way out. Tragically, one of their critically wounded friends dies. Faced with the awful chore of burying their dead comrade's body and eliminating any evidence of American involvement on Russian soil, Kelly steps forward, knowing that his position as a convicted murderer provides plausible deniability. He climbs to the roof of the building, firing and throwing grenades to divert the attention of Russian police officers. His actions provide his crew with valuable time to flee, but he must also ensure his own escape. He receives serious injuries while battling multiple police officers. Kelly uses an explosion as a distraction and seizes a Russian police uniform to disguise himself. He hijacks an ambulance disguised as that of a Russian officer, rejoining his crew to arrange their escape from the country. They finally leave by boat, while Ritter formally declares Kelly dead and urges him to become a ghost, allowing him to continue living in secret. Kelly approaches Ritter in D.C., determined to identify the genuine traitor. To express his dissatisfaction with Clay's character, he strangles him into unconsciousness and then transports him, while shackled, for interrogation. Kelly demands to know why Clay carried his battle into Kelly's home, culminating in the death of his pregnant wife and his whole crew. Kelly resorts to threatening Clay's family, including his daughter, wife, and son, in order to obtain the truth. Clay eventually admits to his involvement in information leaks and conflict engineering between the United States and Russia. He admits to arranging a conflict in order to boost the economy and build national unity. In a final, tragic scene, Kelly insists that Clay mention his wife's name before his death. Kelly drives the car off a bridge, effectively ending their argument. Clay Finley utters the name of his late wife, Pam, in a chilling moment at the bottom of the Potomac River as their car falls into the depths, sealing his doom. Kelly is obsessed by visions of Pam and believes she is eternally there with him. Later, Lieutenant Commander Karen Greer attends John Kelly's burial a week later. Kelly escapes with a recording of Clay's confession as she departs, stowed in the rear of a car sunk in the Potomac River. Robert Ritter, a CIA officer, requests a favor from his superiors by presenting the recording. Greer gives Kelly a new identity at Washington Union Station, courtesy of Ritter. He begins a new life as John Clark. A year later, Clark meets with Ritter, the newly elevated deputy director, and proposes the formation of a worldwide counterterrorism unit codenamed Rainbow. Bring the movie to the end. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.